Hey everybody, this is Kim with my Upside Down Paper. Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministry. I'm coming to you on a pre-recorded video. Today is Wednesday, March the 25th, 2026. Y'all, I made this video a couple days ago and I messed it up, so I'm doing it over again. I think I finally have the pause feature, which is what I was trying to do the other day, and then I ended up not pausing it but stopping the video. So anyway, so here we're trying again. There's all my information if you want it. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but I'm really not doing anything Stampin' Up! Stuff today other than I am using some of their paper and products. But I'm working on junk journals right now, which I will be decorating with a lot of stuff. A lot of the things I use to decorate my journals is Stampin' Up! Products. So, this is my version of scrapbooking. I used to do the old-fashioned scrapbooking, and I got away from it and started doing cards. And now I kind of want to scrapbook again, but I want to do it through journals. So that's kind of where I am. I had made a couple journals. I didn't Mod Podge in my last video, and I realized the video I did, it never posted on my YouTube channel because for some reason it said it was private, not public, but it wasn't. It was public. But anyway, so that one's there, but it didn't post. I only got that posted the other day. I didn't realize it hadn't. Okay, so here we go. So this was the original one that I had done, and I had shown it to y'all. I was so excited I finally have a journal I can do something in. Still haven't done anything in it because I'm trying to get several put together. So I've got that one. I had made the cover for this one while y'all were watching, and I had crinkled up my paper, and I loved the way the crinkle look turned out. I put some blue and some green inks. It seems like the inks fade a little bit when you put the Mod Podge, so I got to find out what the right ink is to use when you Mod Podge so you don't lose your color, that it doesn't fade. I mean, it was fine because it was just sponged on here, but if I had like designs or something that I had stamped, it would have smeared them. So I need to find that out. So here's this one. I've got it pretty much ready to go as well. So this is the one I did the video with the other day, but ended up I didn't want to post the video because it wasn't right. So I am going to post one today. So I ended up putting together another journal. So here's the pink one that I didn't crinkle up as much as this one. So it's got some crinkles, but not as much as this one. Like I said, I really liked that crinkled up look. Then I wanted to try something else, and I decided to collage directly onto my file folder. So this was the one, remember we made these with a file folder, and you can tell that from this one because you can still see the file folder in here. I hadn't finished covering it up. But these were both made out of a file folder, and they're pretty heavy duty because I put that paper on them and also have this paper on them, and also had the Mod Podge. All right, so now I did this. So I decided, I'm just going to go ahead and put and Mod Podge, and do a collage directly on my file folder. That was not a good idea, so we learned from doing, but I mean, I've salvaged it. It's fine. It's not quite as heavy duty as these other ones. I may put another piece of designer paper down, or even cardstock to make it a little bit more firm. But it curled up really bad from the Mod Podge. And so this morning I put the designer paper down, and then I went and laid it under a heavy box that had books in it to kind of flatten it back out a little bit. So this one still needs to have a little bit more done, I think, before I put any pages in it. So the one I'm going to put pages in is this pink one, but I still have to, or pink sponged, I still have to do some stuff to the inside. What I did forget with this one is I should have put my piece of sheet in there before I laid down these papers to cover that up, and I didn't, but it's fine. It'll be fine. I'm not terribly concerned. And I did that in another one I did a little while ago too. I can't wait. I'm going to show y'all how I made this one. I love the way this turned out. But again, I forgot to lay my paper on top of that. But we learn. We get it figured out. When I hadn't made them in so long, I'm having to relearn how to do everything. But yeah, I'm going to show y'all how to make this one. I was real happy with how this one has turned out, how firm it is, how sturdy it is and everything. And so I'm going to share that one with you next time. But so today we're going to finish up the inside of this, and we're going to insert some signatures. I have a couple signatures that are pretty much folded up and ready to go. I've got one more I wanted to show you how I did my papers. Where did I put them? Oh, after playing around a few times and figuring out what works and what's easiest, I've kind of figured some things out. First of all, you know, most standard paper, like copy paper and whatnot, comes 8.5 by 11. And I went ahead and cut my paper so that it's no longer than 11 inches. That saves me down the road from trying to trim up my pages. So just putting that out there. So I did that so that when I fold them in half, they will still fit in my journal. And if I do have to cut, I don't have to cut very much. So I'm doing that. So that's one thing. But so I need to fold all my pages. I also tried folding some of these with my, using my, what's it called? My ruler. My scoring tool. But then I'm tearing through some of this paper because some of this paper is pretty thin. I feel really bad. I had to literally lock my cat out of this room. She was not letting me work today. Didn't matter what I did. She was getting on top of everything and messing up everything I was trying to do. I'm like, I got to get some stuff done, baby. So I had to lock her out of the room. So if you hear a kitty crying, she's outside my door here. I'm so sorry. So sorry, Ivy. And it's funny because Sophie didn't even come in here today. I don't know why she didn't come in, because she usually will come. There's a little place up over here, up high, a box that she sits in, but she didn't come sit in that box today. I also wanted to show y'all what I do with this to make it a little more sturdy. So it's pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Flimsy, I guess. It's a piece of a bag, like you get at the office supply store, and when I go get copies and stuff, I ask them if I can have a bag, and that's what they'll do, is put it in this bag for me. I don't see know what I did with my glue stick. Oh, there it is. So I'm going to put some washi tape over these seams. And that one definitely will get something over it because that one's coming up. I'll do this side first. Just put it over these seams. Let's do this first. Put a little bit there. Kind of glue that down. All right, we'll put some. And the washi, sometimes it sticks really well and sometimes it doesn't. I just don't know. Center is about right here. I don't know how old this washi is. I mean, I bought it from Amazon a few years ago, but other than that, I don't really know how long it's been around. And sometimes they don't stick real well because it's not terribly tacky. So I usually try to reinforce it with some glue stick. I'm just going to put it down here like this. And I'll flip it over. So yeah, when I was trying to remove Ivy a little while ago, she got me on my hand there. I washed it. I need to go put some peroxide on it, though. I didn't. I usually put some peroxide on it, but I will do that. here momentarily. When I finish my video, I'll go do that. All right, so here we got this one. I'm not going to fold this one yet either. I'm going to let it dry before I fold it. But I still have several other pages here to fold. And I've also told y'all, this is tearing right here at the end of my piece. I was having a hard time remembering how I put my pieces in my signatures, how I put them in. So I kind of went and refreshed my memory on that as well. I follow Pam at the Paper Outpost a lot, and she has some great ideas. Of course, I mean, I'm sure she's gotten some of those ideas from other people. That's kind of how we work, you know, we learn things from each other. But I was like, when I was doing the video the other day that I ended up not publishing, I'm like, I know this is what she did. I know this is what she did. Why is it not working? And so I finally went back and looked. I'm like, that's what it was. Okay. So I've got two ways we can put our pages in. I'll fold that one in a little bit. Isn't this pretty? So a little over a year ago, I was visiting all these different nursing homes for my mom and dad, and that was on the folder of one of their brochures they give you. I wish I had kept all of them. I think I threw them away, and like these were such pretty brochures. I did cut up one I had, I think it was from this, and used it as the backgrounds on some artistic trading cards that I made. It turned out really pretty. All right, so I think these signatures, I think I have 11 pieces of paper. So that's basically, because you fold it in half, it's 22 pages, but then you get a front back of each of those as well. So it's a lot of pages. Also, I'm going to put this back. I need to go grab an envelope. I'm not sure that I got an envelope for these any of these signatures or not. There's that one. But this is this way. See, if it's in my book, I wanted to decide what did I want to be. What did I want to see, you know, when I'm first going through my book. So I think it's this one. These bigger pages that I have. So when I started going through my mom and dad's house and some of their stuff, they had a couple of old atlases. And the atlases had these pages in there, like individual information about states, plus they had map pages. So I've gotten a map and one of these pages from their atlas. Then they had another book. They had a book about history of Charleston, South Carolina. And then they had another one that was like houses, the old houses and stuff in South Carolina. So again, I'm trying to decide. I'll do France. I'll try and so those pages. Those are the pages that I'm using. His one's from Charleston history, and another one's like just like history of some of the old houses. So Mama had a friend that lived down that way. She lived up here in upstate South Carolina for a lot of years, and Mama met her at church. And they became good friends. And I went to visit that. It's in St. Augustine. It's interesting. I guess they used, I don't know. I didn't read the article. Something to do, but I visited that when I went to St. Augustine. That's cool. I thought it looked familiar to me. Anyway, so Mama's friend had given her, I think, both of those books from Charleston. So you get them folded. Let's see if I can fold this one yet. So washi tape and the glue is a little bit mature to fold. Let's see. Get the washi kind of bent, even if it's not in the right place. I can kind of move it a little bit. All right. Now I'll try to fold it. Apologize if my head is in the way. I'm trying to get it kind of even anyway. I think that's pretty good. All right. So there's a couple different ways, again, that you can do this. And I realized the way I did it the other day, even though the video did not get published, was probably not the best way. But it turned out fine in my book. All right, so now I'm going to kind of decide what order I want to put these in. So I've got these 4 heavier pages, got that flimsy page, I've got this, then I've got some like this pretty piece, and then I have these coffee dyed pieces. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I need a envelope. Grab an envelope from somewhere over here. Don't fall. Here's an envelope. There's another envelope. Guess I need 2. Okay. Oh, and I forgot. And I like this kind of envelope. Whoops. Sorry. I'm coming, I promise. I want a window envelope if I can get my hands on one. There's one. Nope. Okay. I had to move something to get to my envelopes, the boxes that they were in. All right. So I will put an envelope in there, and I think I'm just going to seal this one up. And I tell you what, I do use my scoring tool for these because it's kind of thick to go through. So, and our Stampin' Up! Trimmer has a nice, I can't put my hands on the trimmer. What did I do with it? There it is. This is like, I've been, in all the years I did scrapbooks. Let me see. This is almost 9. I'll do it at 4.5. So I went through a lot of paper trimmers in the day. And then when the Stampin' Up! One, when I found Stampin' Up!, I determined that I really like their trimmer, probably better than any one I've ever used. Just putting that out there. And the refill blades are great. I did put new blades on mine. I ordered them and got new blades, and they work well also. That back away. So now I kind of, like I said, I'm going to decide what order I'm going to put all this in. Now, so this one, I've already got one with a map on the front. I've got one with this on the front. So this time I'll probably do one with text on the front. Or this. I think I might actually put, well, I don't really want Colorado. We'll just do this one. All right, we'll do this one. And then I'll put in a piece of some coffee dye paper. I need to do some more coffee dye paper. I hadn't done any in a couple of years. So I'm kind of starting to run a little low on it. And it was a learning curve too. I actually did not do that great of a job with my coffee dyed papers. So I need to do it on a pretty day though, because I just take mine outside to dry. I don't do the oven drying thing. I just don't feel comfortable with that. So I'm gonna do a coffee dye, and then I'm gonna put this brown paper back piece in. I want it kind of sandwiched in with some good stuff. All right, and let's see, we'll do this pretty piece now. I'm going to do that side. I may not put anything on that page. I might, well, I'll probably put like a pocket or something on it, but it's so pretty. Let's see. I need my envelope. Let's go ahead and put my envelope. I'm going to put it in my envelope. And so I did this the other day and it ended up not working out. I'll tell y'all what I did when I get there. Put it on the lower end so it will more than likely get 2 places where it gets sewn in. Okay, here. All right, so there's a couple different ways we can do this. Here and here. And we will do this in just a moment. I want to put a paper clip on it for now, hold it in place. Well, she quit crying at the door. I guess she finally went and laid down somewhere. I did feel bad about that. I love my kitty, but when I'm trying to work and she won't let me, that gets so annoying. Let me check my... So these folders that I'm putting these particular pages in are 10 inches. So these are 10 inches. So the top to bottom is not a problem. It's whether or not they're going to stick out the edges. And I hope I did cut them enough so that that's not going to be a problem. And I think I did. So, yeah, it's a little bit questionable. Let's see. That might need to be trimmed the tiniest bit. There's that one and that one. But the ones I'm going to do today on video, they have already been cut down, so I'm not worried. I have some I can use. Yeah, I'm going to get my craft knife and cut these down a little bit. All right, so I just wanted to show you how I folded my pages, though. Now we're going to put this together, and then once we get that done, we will go over how we're going to put the signatures. So these are the signatures that are going to go in here. And these have already been trimmed down. So it's a little bit raggy on the edges. I sanded them a little bit, but some of them are still kind of raggy. But that's okay. It's a junk journal. So they all fit in there fine. So they're going to work. All right. So now let's get our cover ready. I'm trying to see, did I have a certain side that I wanted to be the front and the back? I don't know that I did with this one. Maybe this is the front. Okay, this will be the front. All right, so the first thing I'll do, now I had already reinforced this with a couple extra pieces of file folder. So now I'm going to put down this piece of, an old piece of bed sheet. I'm going to glue that down first. So I'm going to get my Fabrifix glue here. It's a fabric, obviously Fabrifix. It's fabric glue. It can be used for other things too, but I need to get some acetate though to thin mine out because this getting working hardly barely squeeze my bottle. It's hard on my hands. So I'm gonna, she's crying at my door again. Sorry if y'all hear her. I know, baby. You're just going to have to wait a little bit. I'm just going to look, make sure I am still recording. I am. Okay. I'd hate to have to redo a second video and do another one. It's like, okay, I don't have time for all this, all these extra videos. I don't know what she's messing with out there. She's really upset with me. I was thinking about doing a second video today, but I think I'm not going to be able to do that. She's wanting me. I'll have to get some fussy cutting stuff and my scissors and go sit out in the den and fussy cut and visit with her, let her sit in my lap. She likes to sit in my lap. All right, so I'm just going to lay this on here, and hopefully I'm going to get it centered pretty good. I just want to make sure I cover both sides well enough. Probably need to pull it this way a little bit. And hopefully I'm still in the video. There. Okay. All right, there you go. And I'm not going to be too concerned about gluing this down because I'm going to put this other paper. Well, you know what, I am. Because I'm going to be putting paper on top of it, but I still want this glued down good. So I'll come back with some more glue and get the edges a little better. Oh, got to get some acetone. Last time I tried to buy acetone, I was in Florida and I was trying to get the fake nails. It was last summer because they were looking really bad and I wanted to get them off. And we were at the beach. I thought, well, I can do this, get these off of me while we're at the beach. And I went to Walmart. Apparently it wasn't like 100% acetone. It did not work at all. It was awful. So I don't know, maybe it was just I couldn't get it in Florida. I don't know, but I got to get me some 100% acetone to add to this, because if it's not 100%, it won't work. But to thin this down a little bit, it's like a silicone. But there's a neighbor's kitty in my backyard climbing over my fence. I think I got the rest of it down. Okay. All right. Let's close her back up. Pull off a couple strings. All right. And so now we'll start laying down our papers. Now I'm using just the pink side. So this is the journal that I put the pink. And actually, yeah, I'm going to fold it a little bit and get those creases. So I'm going to fold it in on both sides a little bit here. And make sure my creases are in there. Okay. And I'm going to do, I want it right side up, because this does kind of have direction to it. But I'm going to just use my art glitter glue for this, because it's pretty much going to be paper on paper, except right here on this edge. But it's, I think it's held in the past when I've used it, so I'm not really concerned about it not holding. So I'm trying to get to the close to the edges as I can. I'm real bad about putting too much glue on the edges, and then I get glue spillage. But I do want it to go right up to the edges. So now when it becomes a problem is when I do cards. And if I put too much glue, then sometimes there's an issue with my glue coming out and squeezing out the edges when I don't really want to. See, it's squeezing out there, but that's going to be okay because I want to make sure that this is glued down completely. All right, so that's that side. I'll flip it over and do this one. And there's a little spot right there. Okay, I might have to put some more glue under that. I have to put some more glue in here. Here is that cat again. I keep seeing it out the corner of my eye, out my window. The neighbor cat. If you happen to be watching my video, I would really appreciate a thumbs up, and if you would subscribe if you haven't already. I have very low viewership. It would be kind of fun if I could get my numbers up. it'd be really awesome. I've had a lot going on in my life the last couple years. And I still do. I mean, there's still some unresolved things out there, but I think it's going to be better now. Situation, you know, my mom passed away, if you didn't know about that. We've got my dad somewhat settled into a veterans nursing home. I don't get to see him as much as I'd like to because it's just a little far for me to drive. But I was dealing with their house, and then I had all kinds of problems with my house last fall. I was having to get a lot of major work done to my house. It was very expensive and unexpected repairs. And then cleaning out my mom and dad's house has just been, and I'm still, I mean, the big stuff's gone, but I'm still going through papers and paperwork and photo albums and that sort of thing. And it's just slow, and I'm needing to do that in my own house, so it's kind of hard when you need to do your own house too, you know. I'm gonna get my bone folder here. That cat is like all over my yard. She's so funny. She's running on there. She's going back and forth to different sides of my yard and climbing the different. I don't have trees. I only have one tree, really. 1.5. I have a tree and kind of a Japanese maple bush in my yard. The trees that are in my neighbor's yards, though, are like right next to my yard, and so they hang over into my yard. And this cat keeps running back and forth, climbing up the fence and jumping into these trees. She's funny. But she seems to be having fun. All right, and then this is going to go right here. And I did use Fabrifix here because this is my spine. And I just want to make sure that this is down really well. And I think I'm going to put the leftover strip of this on the front of my cover. But I picked up some things today. I went to the dollar store. I was looking for some things to put on my journal covers, and I'll have to show you what I came up with. I came up with some pretty cool stuff, some cool ideas, so it's kind of exciting. Y'all, if y'all have more than one Dollar General, or not Dollar General, Dollar Tree, you should check them out because the different ones carry different stuff. Just saying. All right. I probably could have made this a tiny bit wider than what I did, but I made the mistake of making one too wide. So I'd rather it be a little bit short than too much, because then it messes up with the folding if you get it too wide. All right, I'm pretty sure that's going to hold pretty good. And then I need to trim these edges off. Got some fabric scissors here. If I didn't, if I can get it off. I'm not sure what the easiest way is to do this, I've had trouble snipping off my pieces, but to get them the exact length, because the fabric stretches just the tiniest bit, and so it's kind of hard to get it exact. I'll try to do. So if anybody has some tips, I am open to suggestions for this, because I struggle with some things, and this is one of those I'm struggling. I can go back later and try it again, but I got most of it off. Maybe this side will be a little easier. We will see. So I don't want to cut my paper, and I don't want to cut my cover. That side was a little better, I think. Again, let's be careful what I cut. I was trying to get that little piece right there, and I still didn't get it. Here. do some more gluing right there. I ended up cutting too much of that, but that's okay. It's all right. I'm going to try to get this again. My Stampin' Up! Snips might be better because they're smaller. If I can get the ones that cut right. Some of them you can tell they've been using the paper too long. Some of them cut fabric okay. Let's see if these will work. Not wanting to cut fabric so good. See, it's getting bogged down there. All right, I think if I put a little glue on that, that'll be better. All right, now let's get these signatures put in here. So there's a couple ways I can do this. I've got 3 signatures. This is the top. So I messed up on my other journal I did that I ended up not publishing it, but I had my, let's see, which one was it? Was it this one? So I punched, they're different distances. Okay, so this one's closer to the edge, this one's further away. And this was supposed to be the bottom and this was supposed to be the top, but I messed it up and I put my paper in there wrong. It's okay. You know, it's not that big a deal to anybody but me, but I want to make sure this is the top. Okay. And when I look at my pages, see, I don't want this to be the top because then it's kind of backwards to me. I would rather have this be in there like this. And this one to be in there. Oops, that one's actually not right. Not do that one right. I have to do this one different. This one. Okay, this one's right. Let me see. What did I do here? What's on the other side of that page? If I flipped it the other direction. Okay, it needs to go this other direction. And then this would be the top. Okay. So I want this to be, now let me check all my other papers. Make sure they're going the right direction too. Because I missed, see, yeah. Maybe that's the problem. That's not right either. See now, I thought I did these right. All right, I'm gonna do it over again. I might just be flipping some stuff over. That would be okay. This way. And this and this. I think I was talking to somebody on the phone when I was doing this. That might have something to do with it. That might have something to do with it. Yeah. All right, let's put this. And are my salamanders. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I think they're right now. Let me just flip through real quick to make sure. They're not. Let's try this one this way. All right, that's okay. That's okay. Okay, this one goes this way. This works. This one's good if I do it this way. And this one, let's double check that. That's right side up. That's okay. And that's the back. Okay. I should look at my flower there. Make sure my flower's the right direction. That's okay. All right, so that one and this one, and then this one's going to go in the middle. All right, 2 different ways we can do this. So, the old-fashioned way to do this is to take an old book that you don't care about and get you, sometimes it helps to have a ruler to kind of, you know, squish your papers together real good. Stick them in the center of a book and do this. This is the old-fashioned way, y'all. Okay, so I'm showing you the old-fashioned way. You got them in here, okay? And I don't have my paper clip. I need to put my paper clip because this is the top. Okay. And then you take your owl right here and you push it through. Kind of in the middle. I'm going to push it all the way through to make sure my hole's really big. Okay. Push it all the way through. Dangerous, okay? Don't do this around little kids. Then open it again. Do another one. I want to put it up a little higher because I want to try to catch my envelope, wherever my envelope is. Ooh, it's going to have to go. It's going to be pushing it to get it there. All right. I should have brought my envelope down a little bit. It would have been better. All right, but there you go. That's 2. And then we'll get the third one in here. And I'll do it a little closer to the top, about 1 inch. And we'll push it all the way through. Okay, so here's what you can do. I don't want to use this piece of paper though. I want to use one of these pieces that go from top to bottom. So I'll use the second piece here. I'll use the second piece as my template. Okay. This is my top. Put that on the top. So you take your second piece, that's the template, and you put it inside of this one. All right, let's leave. I need to keep one paper clip for my top. All right, so we'll get it in here, get it in my book. Where'd my ruler go? Here's my ruler. Put it in there good. Okay. Get my my paper clips. I know the top. Get this paper, put it in here. The side that's only got the inch is the top. Okay. The other one's further in. You're gonna lay it in here with the stuff. That's my template. Okay. Take my owl here, AWL. I'm going to get that hole. I'm going to go through that one. Is that it? That's it. Let me find my holes. Oh, pretty sure. So I should have marked it with a marker. I think it's it right there. That's it. Yep. I should have marked them. I did my other one. I used a marker to mark them, and I should have done that with this one. Make sure I'm in the... Am I in video? I'm not in the video. Sorry, y'all. Come on. Pull her back up. So find that hole, which is right there. Push it through. And find the last hole. having trouble finding. Where'd you go? Where is it? Is it right there? God, you wouldn't think I even put it through there. There it is. Gee, okay, let's try this again. All right, line it back up. There it is. All right, and so you would do this. Pull it out. Stick it through all the way. Which is why I thought I was going to be able to see my holes better than what I did. Stick it through all the way. And stick it through all the way. And make good holes. So this is the old-fashioned way. So you take the one paper, you got a template, and you do all three or however many signatures you have with your template, okay? And then you would use your template. Again, a marker is a good idea so I can see what I'm doing. It's right here. Just gonna make it so I can see it a little better. And you're going to use that, and you're going to lay it on here. To mark your holes, to mark your, where your, I'll get this, where you're going to put your holes in your spine. So we would put one here, and one right here, and one right here. Okay, and then you would do a hole on either side, and you can just mark those in there. So that's the way to do the old-fashioned way. Now, where's my other signature? This one. It goes back in here. But it's the second page back. And I'll have to make sure that these are still lined up. So I don't know what they are. So let me show you how to do. I'm going to do the third signature the easier way. But if you don't have the big old fancy dancy tool to do it, I'll have to go back and make sure I've got those lined up. If you don't have the fancy tool to do it, this is the old-fashioned way, and you can do it this way. It works, okay? But I want to do it the easier way, and I have the machine, the tool to do so, and it's called this Crop-A-Dile 2. It's We Are Memory Keepers. Y'all, I'm sorry, Stampin' Up! Doesn't carry anything like this, so I'm not supposed to promote other products, but they don't carry anything like this, so there is that. All right, so we have the dots, and I'm gonna put, I'll make that dot a little bigger, and then I'm gonna go out a little bit and put one on this side, and out a little bit and put one on this side, and I'll do the same thing here. Got one here, and I'll try to line it up as best I can right there and there. And the same thing for this one. That doesn't look like the center. I'm shifting it over just a touch. Okay. And then I need to put those, hopefully this is going to be lined up right, because I doing the signatures 3 different ways. Yeah. Let me see. Might want to do them from these. That's which is the one that's farthest away? That one. Is that right? Okay, this is the top. The bottom has the more space. That's the bottom. Hang on, I'm just trying to make sure I have them the right direction. It's a good idea to like mark them so you don't do what I'm doing right now. All right, so this is where they go. Yeah, that's pretty good. So let me mark. So then what you would do is once you put your little dots in your book, then you would line up all 3 of your signatures with your dots, and then you would draw on the side of your signature. You would mark the side of your paper where it's going to go. Okay, and I only have to do this one on top because this is the only one that doesn't have holes in it yet. Is this one there? And right here. Okay. All right, so then you get this and you're going to stick it in your Crop-A-Dile Big Bite. I think Pam calls it a Big Bite. And we're going to punch 3 holes. I'm going to use this middle one right here. You can see how it comes down. It's the 1/8 of an inch. You got a 1/8 and a 3/16, and then this one down here is to set eyelets. So we're going to put it in here. And I kind of like to look from the front and the side to make sure I got it lined up good. So, and you just barely really, you don't have to put a lot of force to get this to punch through. It does really well. I just don't have a ton of experience using it, so I'm not that good at it yet. This is only like maybe my 4th time using it, and 2 of those times were a couple years ago. Okay. Whoa. My eye itches. Y'all ever have eye itching? An eye itch? Okay. Weird. Okay. And there. And I probably didn't do a great job doing these, lining these up. But I imagine that with time I'll get better at it, or I'll find another way, find other ways to do it. And then you have to turn it to do the last one. It's nice though, because it does reach all the way into the center of your book. It has like a 7-inch reach or something like that. So today, my daughter was supposed to get a chemo treatment today, but she was not feeling good when she saw the oncologist earlier this week, and he told her to push it back a week. He said, if you're already feeling bad, then you don't want to go into it already feeling bad. So he told her to put it off a week. So we'll be going to that next Wednesday instead. All right, now I still have to punch holes in my last signature. And I'm going to also use the Big Bite to do that, which is why we marked where they go. So, open it up. And try to keep them in line, you know, when you do that, because they do shift when you open and close. All right. So we'll do, can get it all in there. And find my little finger jigger. And then I want to look from the front too, to make sure it's actually going on my crease. I think it is. We'll go that one. And then we'll come do this next one. 2. And then turn it to do the last one. That's a little off, but I think it'll be okay. Again, between experience and bad eyes, you know, the two things combined kind of mess things up sometimes. I'm gonna fold it a little bit so I can see my center, see my fold a little better. Okay. I think that's it. All right, so there's the third one. Again, it's probably not perfect. Well, it's not perfect at all. It shifted on me a little bit. I'm gonna have to kind of give me a little bit more hole to work with on this one, because I was off the seam the wrong direction a little bit. Come back this way a touch. Not too much. That should do it. There, I had to get it a little, I had it too far on this side of the seam. And now that one was perfect. It was right on the seam. All right, close her up. So these are now ready to go into the journals, into the journal. Get my time. All right, I'm almost at an hour. So, all right, this is the top. This one I have to keep looking for the top because I got too many things in it. All right, this is the top of this one. Let me take the bottom. Let me take this one off. Okay, the top, and top. And I think I'm gonna do it this way. So first signature, second signature, and third signature. They're gonna be 1, 2, and 3. Paper clips are on the top. I don't have any paper clips on the bottom. So I'm gonna come here, and what I wanna do, I'm gonna put them like this. I'm gonna start with the back one. We'll go in first. And I'm gonna use my wax thread right here. Big roll of wax thread that I have. And my giant needle. I'm gonna put my all away. And all these paper clips. So that's the other thing. See, Ivy, she steals my paper clips. She steals my straws, and she steals my paper clips. She's a mess. She keeps me laughing, but she also gives me aggravation. I don't know if well, this really is the first video I've done in a while. I had to put my dog down. I put him down on the 15th. All right, we're going to do this times 3. All right, so the width of your book, 1, or the height, 2, 3. And if you want to add a little bit for good measure, you can. So I need 3 of those. So there's 1. I need 1 for each signature. I'll go ahead and cut all 3. 1. So yeah, all the stuff that I've had going on, and that was another one of the things I had going on. So back, yeah, he was old. He was going to be 16 in May. So he was already over 15 years old. He started off where he wasn't holding his pee-pee. I mean, it was just like constantly pee-peeing everywhere. I mean, I'd take him outside and he'd come back in and he'd pee again. It was just, it was, so he started that towards the end of the summer, early fall. And then he's always, for several years, he's had skin problems where his skin just, he was getting sores and dry skin and itchy skin. He was having that problem for a while. And then, oh, tell me I didn't lose, okay, sorry to say I didn't lose my needle. So he was going to the vet for the skin. He was going to the vet for the peeing, and they did say his kidneys weren't terrible, but he was in, you know, somewhat in kidney decline. And then I tried to get him medicine for his skin, and he didn't like me. Oh, and he had a bad eye infection, and he didn't like me giving him the drops for his eyes. Then he started having seizures, y'all. And they said he's probably got a brain tumor, but of course you're not going to check a dog for a brain tumor. So it was just one thing after another, just over and over and over and over and over again. So, yeah, that last weekend was rough. I'll talk more about it another time, but for now, let's just get my journals put together here. So, I think I do want to come from the outside. It's what I've been doing all the other ones. I hope I can find my holes. Though, I think this is the one I didn't put my paper back in right. I might not have gotten my paper back in there, so I'm going to just try to feed it through there if I can. They probably didn't get lined right back up after I took them apart. Come on. Nope. This is okay. It would probably been easier to do it from the inside because then I could see better, but I didn't, so here we are. Oh, come on. These are definitely not lined up. I'm sorry this is going to go. It's just a little bit over an hour in order to get these in here, especially now, since I can't find my holes. I'll turn it this way so maybe I can see better. All right, yeah, that helps a little bit. If I turn my paper, turn this way. Like that one's harder to see through the world. That one. And we have that one. And this one. I did get holes in the envelope, both 2 holes in the envelope, so that's good. Alright, so that was all of them. So pull this on through. And just don't pull your thread all the way through. Leave you a little bit of a tail there. Alright, so now we're going to go, we've got the first one in. Then we're going to go, come back. I'm about to lose it. Alright. Then we're going to go through the top hole. Again, I'll see if I can find it because I moved everything. I suggest, if you're going to do the old-fashioned way, to put a plain piece of paper here, the one that you use for your template, so that you can see it. You can see the hole, see where it goes and everything better than what I could do with the one I had on the front today. All right, we're in the back hole because we're doing the back first. You do the back side first. All right, there we go. It's going to turn out. I'll go ahead and pull that through a little bit. Okay. Now we're going to go all the way down to the bottom, down here. Pull it through, and again, I'll probably have a little bit of a issue with my holes here, but We will manage. We will manage. Turn it this way. And maybe I can see. I would expect, yeah, it was easier this time. Yay! Once I got the other two in there and lined up, it made it much easier. Okay. And pull that piece out. All right. So now we've been through all the holes. And now we're going to do our last hole. So the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to go back through the middle hole again. On the way out through the back. And so this string we want to put, we want that string to be in the middle, in between the other two. Okay. So we're going to pull this one through now. Okay. So I have string on either side of the binding string. And then we're going to pull that snug. I just took my needle out, set it aside. And then we're going to tie this. We're going to knot it. We're going to like knot the different directions. So one time you do your knot one way, and the other time you do the knot the other way. And then you just do a third one for good measure. So we've got them all in there. And I should have gone ahead and checked to make sure it was snug on the, see, it's snug there. And it's snug back there. Okay, so there we go. And then we can just trim these off. There we go. And then we do it again for the other two signatures. So I'm going to press pause and I'm going to do that. Well, I don't know. Maybe I'll do it again and then I'll pause the last one. I haven't paused yet in this video. All right, so now we're going to do, again, this is the front and the top. Front, top, middle signature this time. I'm going to start again back here. This hole in the middle. The middle, because it's the second signature. It's the middle signature. And we're going to try to get it through. Let's see if y'all can see. Try to get it through them all. Maybe. Can we get it through all of them on one go? Oh, we did. Look. I did. Oh. I pulled a little too much. Let's try that again. Let's see. It should be easier the second time. Pulled it all the way. That's the first time I've ever done that, y'all. I think I got excited because it went through so easily. And then I was just like, ooh, I'll just pull it on through. And of course, it's not going to go as easy this time. Come on. I feel it. Come on. I know it's there. It's there. Of course, it's not going as easy this time. Come on. It's missing something. It's going. All right, let me do this. Come on. Go through already. Go through. Go through all of them. I probably shifted something. Probably shifted something. Okay, there. And it went through those. Let me get rid of my paper clip. Okay, there's that one. There it is. Got it that time. So that one was being ornery. Okay, don't pull it all the way this time, Kim. Here we go. There it is. I'm going to hold it this time. All right, now we're going to go to the top. Go through the pages. There they are. Got through the pages. Go through the center hole. Yay. And then we're going to take it. Let's pull the piece out. Make it a little longer again. Now we're going to go down here to the hole on the bottom center hole. And again, go through all our pages. see if I can get it through this time. It's that one. Again, it's that same one. It's not wanting to go through that one. The envelope. There it went. Okay, there we go. And I need the rest of my thread. Come on out. Still have thread out here. All right. I can pull a little bit of that on through. Now we'll go back down through the middle hole again, and then we've got to make it go on either side of that string that goes down. So we'll go through the paper, through the hole. There's the hole, and it needs to be on this other side of my piece. Pull it on through. The rest of the thread, we'll pull the needle off, put it aside. All right, see it's flimsy right there. I'm gonna pull on it, get it, get the flimsiness out of it. All right, let's just look this time. Let's see. So it's snug on this side, and then the rest of the signature. Let's check inside. Come on. Pull that. Okay, and so it's snug. So we'll tie it off. Tie it off. Tie it off. Can't even tie because I'm getting tired. All right, and tie it the other direction. There's wax on this thread and it makes my hands feel weird. So when I finish, I always have to go wash my hands, try to get the waxiness off. But it usually takes about 3 times washing my hands to get that to work. But anyway, so there's the second signature. And I am going to pause my video this time to do the third signature, so we're not using up more time on the video. All right, so I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I'm back. I've got that third signature put in, which was actually the first signature. So we've got the first signature in. It's the front, top, yes, first signature. And the second signature, so they're snug. And then the third one starts somewhere right there. So I got all 3 signatures in. That's how they look from the top, like that. And here's how they look from the bottom. There's the spine. Actually, they're pretty straight spines. That's probably the straightest I've done. Let's look at my other ones. Here, here's this one. They're shorter than that one. Let's look at this one. This one's shorter. This was the longest of the 3. But yeah, there's those 3 that were all made out of a file folder. Here's my 4th file folder that I still need to, I want to reinforce my book part a little bit again before I put signatures in it. But I do have my signatures pretty much. I just need to trim them. They'll be ready to go. And go into this one, so it'll be a little different than these. I more than likely are going to cover these spines so you won't see the threads. But at some point, I would love to get like really good where I can do the fancy. People do beading on these and stuff and make them really pretty and fancy. At some point down the road, maybe I'll get good enough to do something like that. And actually, I mean, these aren't terrible either. I mean, some of my holes are off. But this probably was definitely the best I've done. Now, I am going to say that I think my old-fashioned way of putting the holes in everything, I think that really works just fine. So if you don't have that big bite, you can still do that old-fashioned way I was telling you. But I would make sure that that middle piece that you mark, that you put your hole in, is like a plain piece. And so when you do your holes, put a little black, outline it a little bit with a black marker so it shows up good when you move it from place to place, and so it's easier to see. So the only thing that's really left to do with this is what Pam calls is just Pam with Paper Outpost, she calls it train your pages. So, and you can do every page, and I will, but I'm not going to do them right now. Go through with your bone folder and just kind of help them lay down flat. And it'll just help your book lay down flat better, because there's a lot in here. And when you get ready to start putting stuff in here, it's going to make it even fatter and thicker, and it'll end up being like open like this, which is going to do anyway. But if you go ahead and flatten out your pieces, train those pages, that'll help. Now, this was the piece of paper that I used here. This is the other side of it, and I'm probably going to use this for something on my cover. So I'm going to hang on to it. I want to keep it here with this so I don't lose it, because I'm not sure I have another piece of that paper or not. But that was Stampin' Up! Paper, designer paper. And I found, when I was looking for something to put inside of this one, I found some papers that had retired that had some good cutouts in them. So I'm going to go fussy cut with my little kitty for a while. Sit in the den with my kitty and fussy cut, so she'll be happy that I'm out there and not neglecting her anymore. So anyway, thank you guys for joining me. I will do another video later. I will show you how I did this book and this book. So these are the same materials basically that I used. A piece of cardboard that came out of the Paper Pumpkin boxes that Stampin' Up! Sells. Their Paper Pumpkin subscription. So they have each kit, and I think there are other kits. They all come with this piece of cardboard. And so that's what this one and this one are made from, is this piece of cardboard that came out of those kits. Plus I cut up some cereal box and glued together a piece for the spine. So 2 pieces of cereal box is about the same width as this. So I will show you how I did that one. I was real pleased with the structure of this one, and feel really good about a way I found to do this. So I'll come back and show you that one. I'll also show you how I'm going to do this little mini one signature one out of a manila envelope. So I've almost got enough signatures that I need to start filling my stuff up with junk. I've got my list of all the different ones I want to make, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've got another one down in my box here that's ready to go. Just needs paper. 8. And so that's 8 with this one. 7, 8. I had to look at my list, though. I think it had more than 8 on it. But at least I can probably get started. Because I was making some fun things last night to put inside of journals and using up book pages to do them. Again, Pam gives a lot of great ideas. There's a lot of ladies that give you good ideas, but she's great with book pages. So I made some pockets and things. Got these ideas from her to do these. This little fold down one. And this little fold down one. But I got these ideas from her. Actually, I changed this one up a little bit. This like a little book folder one with pockets, with bow stitching. And then I kind of came up this one myself. I just took a piece of book page and folded it, and I got a pocket here, and then a pocket here, and then when I glue it in my journal, I would have another pocket right here. So 1, 2, 3 pockets. Anyway, I will go and catch you guys next time. Hope everybody's well. If you have any questions, let me know. Text, email, go on my Facebook page. Thumbs up and subscribe and share my video, please. And I would much appreciate it. Thank y'all. Have a good night. Bye-bye.